Welcome back to Indianapolis Colts Syndicate. Today we're going to be reviewing day 6 of Indianapolis Colts Training Camp. And of course, we're going to start with the inactives. It's the guys that are still out up to this point: Juju Brents, Julian Blackmon, Darius Rush, and Samson Ebukam. Now Jake Witt is backup tackle. He's also still out. JT is still showing up and taking mental reps with the running backs, but he's not participating, of course. And today, Anthony Richardson sat out because of a procedure that he had on Sunday to correct something in his nasal septum. Now, they are saying he should be good to go at tomorrow's practice, but for Monday, he did not practice in the first practice with pads. Now, while he wasn't, full practicing with everybody, there is video of him taking reps to like walk through kind of reps with the quarterbacks as they were going through their drills. So he's still getting in, mental reps as he's going through the practice. Just wasn't able to have a full practice today. Now, some of the offense that was at practice and was making plays today, we're going to start with Josh Downs, who pretty much owned the first day of padded practice. He looks incredible in individual drill work. If you look at videos of him doing individual drills, he's so smooth and so fast. And then in team periods, he made an incredible one-handed snag today on an intermediate out route. Just reached out, grabbed it with one hand, didn't even bring the other hand in to kind of keep it there. He just had that one hand and, was turning his body and kept it. And it was just, he's so smooth. He's so good. I really think he's the best kept secret at wide receiver coming into this season. Now, for as good as he looks right now, he's not yet in the starting rotation, which I think makes sense when you sign a guy like Isaiah McKenzie. It makes sense to have Isaiah McKenzie with his experience. Go ahead, have him out there. He's a veteran. Let him do his thing. Josh Downs will get his opportunity soon enough. So the starting skill position players for 11-on-11 work were Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce, Isaiah McKenzie, Kylan Granson, and Zach Moss. Now, Zach Moss, before the end of this practice, he broke his arm and will miss about 6 weeks. So he's probably not going to be back for week 1, which is really unfortunate for him because of the situation that he finds himself thrusted into. But we'll talk more about the running back situation in a different video. So make sure you subscribe with notifications on to make sure you stay up to date on that situation. But moving on to the tight end situation, Will Mallory, rookie tight end Will Mallory, was finally back at practice today. He's been on the PUP since OTAs and minicamps. And having him back is adding somebody to a crowded tight end room. Jelani Woods is believed to have aggravated his hamstring in today's practice. He wrapped it up and then he unwrapped it, but he kept participating in practice. He finished practice, didn't come out, but he did aggravate the hamstring, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to, sit out or be limited for this next week of practice. Right, and then you talk about the other tight ends, Mo Alley Cox, Kylan Granson. Those two were getting reps and rolling around with the starting unit all day. So when it comes down to it, with all the playmakers in the tight end room, it's going to be hard to figure out which one of these guys are you cutting, or are you cutting any of these guys? At the end of the day, Chris Ballard is not in an envious position. Cutting the roster size down to 53, not going to be easy when you're talking about the tight end room. All right, now let's bounce over to the defense. Some defensive news for training camp. In the first practice with pads this season, Shaq Leonard didn't do 11-on-11 work, but he was with the starters for 7-on-7 work. So it seems like the team is being cautious and wants to continue to ease him in to what we're doing. Last week there were no pads, there wasn't physical, so having him out there was okay. He was getting the reps with the starters, and that's great, but they're going to ease him in as they continue to put the pads on. Shaq Leonard, again, not doing 11-on-11 work in the first padded practice, but did do 7-on-7 work. And if anybody on the team, especially the defense, doesn't need the reps, it's Shaq. Like, yes, he's going to need some reps to get back into the flow of things, but it's Shaq Leonard. He's good to go. A new name making some noise at practice was Darrell Baker Jr., who had 2 good pass breakups, one against Alec Pierce and one against Michael Pittman Jr. Now, why is that important? It's because the 2 rookies, Juju Brents and Darius Rush, continue to be out. So all these guys that are going to continue to get reps, these are guys that we're going to have to look at as guys possibly earning themselves a role in the rotation. So Darrell Baker Jr. is a name that is on the list. I'll continue try to see if I can find anything that he's doing in camp to see if he's somebody to keep an eye on. But overall, it sounded like today was a much more physical practice. Again, no pads last week. Today, they had helmets and shoulder pads on, so we're still not at fully padded practices, but it was enough for today to be a very physical day. Everything I've seen has said that today was a very physical day of practice. Zaire Franklin had a big pop on Zach Moss across the middle in today's practice. Will Mallory got hit hard on the sideline in practice. And then even Evan Hull, the rookie running back who continues to make noise at practice, was making noise all day with the second team. And even he caught a pass and trucked over Kenny Moore. So today's practice, very physical, but I feel like that's kind of to be expected. You have all these NFL players, type A alphas out there on the field. First day in pads, you had to expect it was going to be a pretty physical day. I'm sure the coaching staff is going to talk to the guys about reining it in with some of the injuries that happened today, bring it back and dial in, but outside of the JT situation, the vibes coming out of today's camp were very high. With Richardson coming back tomorrow, we're going to be watching to see how he does and which team is he running with. Is it going to be the first team or the second team? There's a really good possibility that they just keep switching him and Minshew, especially as we go through the preseason. But we will be keeping an eye on that to see what's happening there. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. We'll have more training camp updates every day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.